What's up, everybody? What's up? Valhalla Sports Talk is on the air. System check. Systems check. 1 2 1 2. Shout out to the 11 already in the chat. James Bostrom in the house. Dave. Marcus Shakir. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Yo, chat. And Daniel, right off the get go, drops a membership. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Berry. You are the man. The man. T. Kubler gets it. T. Kubler, if you are in the house, please say thank you to Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Thank you so much. Twins versus Guardians. It's a 1:10 start on my watch. That's about 11 minutes from now. About 11 minutes from now. Again, the purpose of this stream, for the most part, is to do a systems check to see why we had trouble last night and why yesterday's stream dropped. But I plan to have quite a show for you irregardless. And I hope you're all having a great day today. Bam. Okay, am I synced up? Yes, I'm synced up on camera. But yeah, pretty excited. Pretty excited. Elishiva Jones in the house. What's up, Miss Elishiva? What I got? Look what I got. Look what I got. Ooh. Spooky. All right, let's see if there's any audio going on right now. See if we got anything. This is where it will start struggling if we are not any better than yesterday, y'all. But let's see. I messed with some things.
To recognize Burnsville police officer Cody Johnson and firefighter paramedic Sam Mulvaney. Officer Johnson served as a corporal in the United States Marine Corps as an anti-tank missileman. Corporate Mulvaney currently serves as an expeditionary firefighting and rescue specialist.
It looks like they're going to do the national anthem, y'all. I will go off camera for that. But welcome to the stream, y'all. Hit that like, subscribe if you're new.
And squad leader in the United States Army, completing 2 tours in Iraq. We say thank you, gentlemen, for serving our country. Joining us on the field today to unfurl a giant representation.
Russ the Hunter in the house. What's up, Russ?
To welcome law enforcement and fire department representatives from 11 different cities in Dakota County, many of whom were on scene on February 18th. Presenting the colors on the field today is the Burnsville Police and Burnsville Fire Honor Guard. And performing our national anthem, we welcome members of the Dakota Valley Symphony and Chorus.
Our national anthem.
You see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner
All right, excellent national anthem. A flyover by, I believe that was a C-130 coming down the strip. Left, right, left.
To first pitch, the home opener for the Twins and the Guardians is coming up.
All right, our first commercial break, y'all. First pitch right around the corner. Twins will crush Cleveland. There is no betting on this stream, y'all. I do not have betting turned on, so sorry, but no big deal. Again, this is predominantly a test stream, a systems test. As you know how we do around here. This is a Dodger channel, y'all. Alex Vincenzo, Juliano Hasagawa, arigato. 4:58 in the morning. I'm fixing my breakfast. Miss Sarah Small is in the house. What's up, Miss Sarah? Angel Biscuit stepped on a nail. I like this version. It's different, says Ella Shiva. Home opener today for the Cardinals. The Clydesdales and the Hall of Famers are there. Nice. If you've never seen the Clydesdales in person, y'all, it is an amazing sight to see. It is shocking how large those animals are. You got a tetanus shot? Big Zig in the house. Let's go V homies. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Join the V homies today, y'all. Join them today. Get Valhalla Sports Talk certified as a V homie. The Moose told me to come in here. Hit the like, Big Zig. Hit the like. David Yee checking in. I'm here for the early bird voice. What's up, Mr. Yee? I got your email. I forgot to tell the COO that Freddie is in the P.O. box. But she don't have a key. She don't have a key for the P.O. box. All right, again, this is set to start at 1:10, y'all. So first pitch just around the corner. They're in a current commercial break type thingy deal. We got Paul Molitor running around second, headed for third. Slide, safe. 3,000th career hit for Twins great Paul Molitor.
Drive the left center. Knobloch chasing it. This ball's up.
Chuck Knobloch, y'all. Chucky Nobby.
You said Jock Jones was going to hit the first pitch.
No problem, Marcus.
He hit the second pitch out. Jock Jones puts a charge in the one to start the season.
All right, are we too loud on the audio?
Bauer might have a play.
Because I feel like we're too loud. Let me bring it down about a quarter.
Did he catch that?
About a quarter.
Oh, well played, Bauer. One more strike from their reliever. Off the middle.
I'm in love with the monster that's in my hand.
To Twins territory.
There are a select number of people throughout Twins history who have had their
I actually don't like the black can, y'all. I don't like the black can ones too much, but we're out.
Connects from Kirby Puckett to Torrey Hunter and Joe
And I'm not going to get a nap today.
Stars of Byron Buxton and
Feel
Roy
bad
Stewart.
for me.
One voice who broadcast with the legend Harmon Killebrew, circled fans with Burt Blyleven, and talked analytics with Justin Morneau. Dick, you've congratulated countless
Why we got
Twins
that little
on
runner
their
hanging out with the
accomplishments.
B-homies there?
Today
What you doing
is
up there?
our opportunity here at Target Field, and many
Get out
more
of there.
watching at home to
You too,
symbolically
second
shake
base
your
guy.
hand in appreciation
Get the hell out
for
of
what
there.
you have meant to Twins baseball. Let's hear it for Dick Bremer.
Hear it for Dick. Ooh, that ain't going to work. That's like music, y'all. Dick's going to come out here and throw the first pitch, y'all. But they're going to play some music while they're doing it. John Mosleyak got booed. I'm happy. He needs to get booed.
Television broadcast booth, the Dick Bremer broadcast booth.
Is Bremer like the main announcer for the Twinskies?
With a ruby-colored microphone. Ruby being the gemstone associated with 40 years.
It's like Buck presented him as a microphone.
Dick Bremer was proudly raised in the small western Minnesota town.
Appreciate it, Big Zig. Have a good stream, bro.
And the Twins are additionally making a donation of $5,000 to the Wheaton-Dumont Community Fund to support baseball in the Dumont and Wheaton communities.
I love these Twins jerseys, y'all. I love them. These are the ones they came out with last year. I just freaking love them.
Dick's first ever year in 1983. And catching today's home opener first pitch is one of those players whose career we are also celebrating in 2024. Please give a warm welcome to Hall of Famer Joe Mauer.
Joe Mauer going to come out and catch the first pitch. I like Cleveland today, but what do I know, says John Corber. What's up, John? Happy Thursday, sir.
And salute one of the greatest ambassadors the Twins have ever had. Mr. Bremer, it's your pitch.
Boom, 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 boom. How's everybody doing today, though? SD in the house. What's up, SD? What's going on, my man? Yeah, we're doing a little scouting. We're scouting. Actually, we're scouting the system, the streaming platform. All right, so they go to a commercial break. Let me put a little music on here. Let me go refresh MLB.com. Make sure we got this puppy lined up. Okay, we're lined up. All right, so here's the view we're probably going to end up going with, y'all. Even though the computer is doing really well, apparently I did a good job of shutting down some things. Let's go to the 8 screen. I hadn't thought about the chat on the bottom there, y'all. I think that chat's got to go. That chat gots to go. Where is that chat thing? Because I got to turn it off. Cat box. Hey, 19 likes, 75 views. And we at it.
Yes, the home opener is the biggest deal of them all.
Yeah, Pablo was fantastic.
Enjoy the stream, y'all. Guardians Twins.
City. We'll see how he fares here today against Cleveland. So Pablo is getting ready. Tanner Bybee goes for the Guardians. It's game 1. Twins and Guardians next on Valley Sports.
So which leg are we operating on?
Asking the right question can greatly impact your
What leg
future.
we operating on?
You're an orthopedist?
Especially when it comes to your finances.
Are you a certified financial planner?
I'm a CFP professional.
CFP professionals are committed to acting in your best interest. That's why it's gotta be
Barbecue Supreme Nachos and Wacho Sundays. Nice, Miss Sarah.
Favorite boneless wings.
We're going to win, Twins. We're going to score. We're going to win, Twins. Watch that baseball score. Knock out a home run. Shout hip hooray. Cheer on the Minnesota Twins today, says T. Kubler. Kubler, you got a membership from
NextGuard Plus helps you protect your
Daniel
dog
Berry
from
Sports
flea,
Highlights this
heartworm
morning,
disease,
sir.
and more, all in one delicious monthly soft chew. Use with caution in dogs with a
For this
history of seizures
afternoon?
and neurologic disorders. NextGuard Plus, the one you want for one and done protection.
Yo, the one that I love.
Why does sustainability matter in sports?
Bro, why are you so loud on your commercials, bruh? This is the music I listen to on the elevator. Cy in the house. What's up, Cy? Says F. Carlos Correa. I put his picture up there just for you, so you could blow him smooches, Cy. All right, so what we've got going on here, y'all, the view on screen number 2, button number 8, is the batter's view. It tells you who the pitcher is, who the batter is, who's on base, or how many bases are occupied, and what the batter's count is. On the right side there, it's kind of another little 3D type deal, also in beta testing, that shows what's going on, where the ball is in relation to the field. I also have a secondary screen if you have any questions about the batting lineup, etc. There it be. There it be. I can bring that up with a push of a button. Welcome to Valhalla Sports Talk. We got 25 in the house. Man, I just feel like this is extremely loud today.
But it's more than that. It's not just a building. It's a symbol. It's an idea. It's solid.
Let me fast forward that to the end there.
It was absolutely electric. It was so emotional for me, and the playoffs are already a high. But then when you have the fans on top of it and the want and the need that everyone wanted for that win, or for all the wins, really, it was very impressive. Their heart was in it, and you could feel it.
It was like a dream come true. You know, everybody, I feel like in Minnesota, felt that win. It was so long since we got that first playoff win, and to get it at home, it was special.
A day Twins fans have been waiting for nearly 2 decades. That win was a culmination of hard work from early April. That ball's gone, a grand slam! He's done it again! T struck him out, a new career-high 12 strikeouts.
Wish my game would start, says Big Zig. Shout out to Hereford from Toronto, Canada. Need Guardians in St. Louis to win for 200. It's the official Twins fight songs. I am more knowledgeable in useless knowledge than creative.
There was good and bad sprinkled in along the way. But whether the outcome, Twins territory was filled with you.
We're itching to get there. We got a little taste, and I think we have a great shot at doing it again.
Player on the left looked like he has seen some things on the Guardian side. Which one you talking about, bro? There's 9 or 10 players scrolling over there.
To All the Way starts today, live on Bally Sports for the first time from Target Field in 2024.
Alex out there shooting hoops. All right, 50 degrees, 10 miles an hour, humidity of 44%. Target Field, Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's mostly sunny day. Twins in their all-white uniforms. Sick, by the way. I would totally sport a Minnesota Twins jersey, y'all. Absolutely. I love their hats, too. I love the M hat especially, but the TC one I had as it when I was a kid.
Looking forward to seeing how he reacts to this home crowd. Some guys can get a little over amped, to get a little too much adrenaline going. Becomes hard to command your stuff. But we saw him in the postseason.
I refuse to call them Guardians. Says Cy. You are such a rebel, Cy. You are such a rebel.
Energy and funnel it into his focus and just go out there and pitch a tremendous ball game. Wouldn't be surprised at all to see.
All right, here we go. They're taking the field.
The reigning AL Central champs.
Will this be part of the Dodger cast? I think this is how I'm going to go, Kerm. I think this is how I'm going to go, bro. But I am trying to see if I can do it the other way as well. We never stop trying to make the product better here on the channel.
The Cleveland Guardians, who spent last year as the bullpen coach and quality control coach with the Mariners. Parts of 10 seasons in the big leagues, and here is his starting lineup, which is brought to you by Menards.
Yeah, they've scored a lot of runs. They were fortunate to go out and start their season in Oakland against a team that's struggling to start the year, so they took advantage of that, and then went into Seattle, scored a bunch of runs there as well against a very good pitching staff. So this is a contact-oriented approach. They have a lot of youth. They have a lot of speed. You're going to try and keep them off the bases and control the run game as best you can.
No, it's the one they debuted last year, the kind of old school looking one. It's white with twins across the chest and a navy blue number on the player's left side.
In the bullpen, left field for a home run, but he is the ace of this staff. He's the guy you want to go out there, start the big games.
It's got the state of Minnesota patch on the right shoulder. Twins know a corporate sponsor on their left shoulder. Interesting. Pablo Lopez, the starting pitcher today for the Twins. Twins M hat is badass. I used to want one, wear one in the 90s.
The Twins defense is brought to you by Northland Ford.
Absolutely. I bleed blue, y'all. Castro third, Correa short. Lopez pitching, Vasquez catching. And we're listening to the Twins broadcast, y'all. The Twins broadcast.
Getting the start after Jeffers had the big day offensively yesterday, as we've seen Rocco do. Mix and match with the catchers, whether it's a certain pitcher or it's the pitcher they're facing on the other side. These guys are splitting time like they did last year. It was a very effective tandem. See if Vasquez behind the plate today can control the run game if these Guardians are able to get out there as a threat.
And Vasquez has showcased a strong arm.
I'm a loner, a rebel, says Cy.
Lopez in Kansas City, but Vasquez behind the plate. And Steve and Kwan set to go, as is Pablo. And Twins baseball is underway from target field with an opening fastball strike.
Let me get this synced up with what you're watching on the screen there. Shoot, I screwed it up. What is going on?
Coming up on this edition of Twins Live.
Let me refresh this, y'all. Let me refresh it. I lost it. Give me a second. Give me a second. Your browser blocks. Okay, cool. Great.
Ball two outside.
All right, so we're at ball two.
It's a prototypical leadoff
So
hitter.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Contact, trying to get on base, wreak some havoc, distract that pitcher.
Juan doesn't chase much, rarely swings and misses.
Held off.
If that will impact Pablo's ability to grip and throw
2-2.
the sweeper today.
Yeah, we'll see as it goes along. He was pretty
Okay,
much
so I
aligned
guess
with what
it
he did
won't
last
catch
year
up.
in that first start in Kansas City. That, you're right. Is he able to spin it the way he wants to spin it? Because, as I mentioned, that one mistake he did make
3-2.
being a sweeper that hung up there.
And this will go foul and out of play. A fastball at 95.
All right, so I think we're synced.
Lopez, he allowed a first inning run, the home run to Garcia. And Pablo, when he gave up some runs, oddly it came early. 17 earned runs and 7 home runs alone allowed last year in the first inning. Again, the 3-2. To left, Wallner with the play. He's got it in foul territory.
Minnesota can't help hitting. Here's the first out, the home opener. Tough. These corner outfield here, there's not a lot of foul ground, but then it gets big quick, and that wall kind of juts out on you. It can be a little bit uncomfortable as you're running over in that direction. Does a nice job of making the play.
Kepler in right today, Wallner in left. One down for Andres Jimenez. And like men, he's off to a great start offensively. Takes outside for a ball. Jimenez, an unbelievable 2022 season. Some of his numbers offensively dropped last year, but hitting really in a different spot in this lineup to start for Stephen Vogt. He will chase as he does there. It's a 1-1 count. A year ago, Jimenez, he was batting 5th and 6th, but Stephen Vogt likes him in the 2 spot to start.
He had some speed threat at the top, and then also maybe hoping he gets a few more fastballs with Quan on base.
Yeah, David, there was a lot of views of the Ohtani home run. A lot of discussion about what that girl got for the ball as well.
Jimenez, a year ago, he crushed fastballs. Good numbers. High slug against fastballs.
Big's a fool for wiping out the final 3 years of his contract.
Effective pitch for pitchers. Went ahead of Jimenez.
That'd be a good one here. He sped him up with that sweeper down and in.
Got inside a bit and popped it up. Correa. 2 down.
Well, I think the other thing to pay attention to, and I think they're able to monitor it a lot. We mentioned, is he going to feel the grip, and is it one thing? Can he feel it? Is another thing? You know, they track the horizontal, the vertical movement of the pitch.
What do you all think of this view, y'all? What do you think of the view? Like the field thing, I know that you can't read those things like left field, center field, right field, but that's just how it is. It is in beta. But I think it's still pretty cool, especially the play-by-play that's scrolling it there as well.
If they want to keep throwing it, or if it feels good to them. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect every time, but they do have ways to compare to how it was in Kansas City, how it was in spring training, and how it was last year.
5-time All-Star Jose Ramirez.
Dave Rhodes in the house. What's up, Rhodesy? MKI up in here.
Great player, 77 career games at Target.
Shelby Minnick in the house. What's up, Miss Shelby? Happy Thursday to you, girl.
This is empty, 2 outs. Shallow right for Kepler. So Lopez, 3 batters, 3 fly balls, 3 up, 3 down. Twins are coming up.
Oh, I forgot to do my inning thing, y'all. We go to the bottom of the first. We're going to the bottom of the first. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Member up if you want to become one of the few, the proud, the V-homies. You like it, Dave? In the NBA, basically all the playoff and play-in teams are set. That Guardians logo looks like something somebody would doodle on their Trapper Keeper in middle school, says T. Kubler. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
Yesterday, career win 378, tying him with Gene Law for 4th most managerial wins in Twins history. His starting lineup today for the home opener is brought to you by Menards.
Jack Kirilloff, big day yesterday. Reached base 5 times. This offense, you're hoping, is able to carry it over with playing a few days in a row now, getting into some rhythm as an offense. See how Julian does.
I didn't see Jacob come into the chat. What's up, Jacob?
A little bit more the big part of the field.
Julian 0 for his last 9. Takes high ball 1. Tanner Bybee on the mound today for Cleveland. Finished 2nd in the Rookie of the Year voting last year, losing out to Baltimore's Gunnar Henderson.
And as Ohtani's first home run video on MLB has 450,000 views. Judges has 26. That's wild. Kelsey checks into the chat. What's up, Kelsey?
13 home runs last year, and only 2 of those to left-handed hitters. So he was very
fearsome, fearless leader. I survived my 12-hour shift. Only 3 more 8ers to go, and I'm off for 3 days. Let's go, Miss Shelby. Let's go.
These are not 2 average lefties. These are 2 guys who can really hit. I'd love to get this crowd into it early, being able to score here in the first.
He walked 5 at his first outing against the A's, facing a patient hitter. That's a good pitch, though, on the corner.
Every time Rojas does anything decent, there's a huge glimmer of hope in my eyes, says Cy. Yeah, we need a shortstop, bro. We need a permanent shortstop.
Close to a shift as you can get.
Full count. Julian reached base twice on opening
I think
day.
putting Betts at short is asking too much, man.
First Canadian-born twin to reach 2 times or more in opening day since. Guesses out there. It's a tough one. Justin Morneau.
Are you going to say Renee Chisoni?
In 2013 in Detroit.
Abby, my kids think I can function on 4 hours sleep, says Rhodes. Get used to that, bro.
Julian continues. A double and a walk for Justin Morneau, April 1st against the Tigers, 2013.
Turned a triple into a double.
Yes, he did. Strike 3 call.
Struck him out.
So Julian a lengthy at bat. That breaking ball, top of the zone. 1 down.
This is kind of you take what you get with Julian. Sometimes he lays off a lot of close pitches, but he also does strike out looking a lot. So he's going to draw a ton of walks. He's going to get on base, but he's going to stay disciplined, and very rarely will he expand.
Put out a little house on the prairie for my dad, says Summer Obe. What's up, Summer Obe?
So 1 down, and now Alex Kirilloff coming off a banner day. Just to follow up your point, though, Morney, about Julian striking out looking a year ago.
I think they're in the seed. They're going to be MKI. What do you think?
42% of them came.
Shelby says, as us you per se, holy wah.
Of any qualified batter in the game last year. Kirilloff hammers one.
This ball hit. Right center field.
On the track, near the wall.
Bounces off the base of the wall. Old dude. Headed for 3. Safe. Doubleday Clements in the house. What's up, Doubleday?
Back-to-back days with a triple. This one took a favorable bounce. Sounded good coming off. Center cut fastball. And when he's hot, I'm telling you, he can swing as well as anybody in the league. Now,
my old man used to watch those old westerns all day long too, NS, before he passed away. Rifleman, Gunsmoke.
Early on this year. And there's a high changeup that he's in for
Ohtani said he exchanged his home run ball for a ball, 2 caps, and a bat. He also met the fan. Yeah, I saw that, and they're dragging her, unfortunately. Cool of her. Cool of her to do that. To not extort him. But they are dragging her on the internet for it. That's who we are today as a society. I know a guy who watches Hogan's Heroes and Bruce Lee all day long. His name is Cy. I didn't know you watch Hogan's Heroes, though.
extra breather here. That one got it pretty good.
Good numbers at target field.
Instead of the Guardians, they should have named them the Shapeshifters. They could have different logos wherever they felt like it, says Doubleday Clements. Wild Wild West and Bonanza. Fouled off.
Off to the right.
All right, shout out to the 40 up in here. That's our high for today. Viking Jerome checks in, says go Twins.
The spin, it's going to kind of stay up. It's not going to, the gravity doesn't have as much effect on the baseball pulling it down, so it's going to kind of ride as it gets towards the plate. So you almost have to tell yourself, I'm swinging one baseball above where I think this is going to be able to get on top of it.
Beg your pardon, Buxton 6 of 19 at the plate to start. Strikes out swinging here.
Struck him out.
So 2 strikeouts for Bybee. And now it's up to Max Kepler as we take a look at the Cleveland defense, brought to you by Northland Ford.
All right, for Cleveland.
It's all around. It's a young team that moves around, plays well.
They went too fast. Beautiful graphic thing, though.
Been there for a long time, playing a great third base, always an MVP candidate.
Andres Jimenez at second base, Platinum Glove winner last year.
Kirby Puckett, he was a great Twin, Viking Jerome. Great player overall, too.
Let's see if Kepler can.
Puckett and Gwynn, man.
Two-out knock here. Max, a quiet start, 1 for 13.
Didn't Bob
but
Hope come out in an Annie Oakley movie?
Been a good matchup. Lifetime
No clue.
Max, 22 home runs.
Max Kepler at the plate. 2 outs. Runner on third.
That's chop foul.
Yeah, a great time for him to break out. We mentioned it. It's going to have to be different guys on different days. While Royce Lewis is out, his injury is a big hole in their lineup, but we build depth to prepare for some injuries. Just hoping you have enough depth to be able to sustain it. Kepler's one of those guys you're going to need to have a good day from time to help out.
MK, I think they just have to try to win every game and just see where they end up, bro. I don't think they should be looking and trying to guide themselves into a specific matchup in the play-in.
Yeah, you can tell he got.
Summer I saw Puckett's debut in Anaheim. We had no idea who he was. He went 4 for 5 and stole a base or two. We knew who he was after that.
Now the 1-2 pitch, pulled foul. Twins have won 6 of their last 7 home
Hey-o.
Guardians, though, beat the Twins head-to-head, winning 7 out of 13 last year, including 4 out of 7 here at Target Field. Again, the 1-2 hit weakly back to Biden. And the Twins get a triple from Kirilloff, but do not score.
Booking.com.
Vacation ideas?
How about a better breakfast in my college town?
Hotel in a baseball town?
That would be awesome. Thank you.
Find great stays across the USA. Booking.com,
Yeah.
Before tax credits helped transform real estate development, before $1 trillion were allocated for infrastructure, before ESG reshaped private equity investing, CohnReznick's industry-leading advisors understood these market forces and helped our clients change the game. Let us help put your business at the forefront to optimize performance, manage risk, and maximize stakeholder value. CohnReznick, advisory, assurance, tax. Get ready to change the game.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. This isn't a hobby, it's a lifestyle. You find diamonds in the rust. You put your own stamp on stock parts, turning metal into murals, and detailing every detail. Because it's the things you make that show what you're made of. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
The MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Target Field. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem offers, access exclusive content, and so much more. Simply download the MLB Ballpark app today. Great to see all these fine Twins fans here at Target Field for the first time. Scoreless out of the second is Josh Naylor. Takes the strike, well located inside corner against Naylor. A home run, 5 knocked in early on. Slice to left. Wallner drifting makes the catch right near the warning track.
I don't know if he was sitting changeup or if he was thinking through the middle of the field or if he just recognized it, but he seemed like he was on this ball pretty good. Sent Wallner back to the warning track. This is if you're going to stay on a changeup, it's kind of how you have to do it. That front side can't leave you. Just a little side spin on that ball as you see a tail at the end of that play.
And Tyler Freeman's been doing that, swinging early in the count and peels it foul. Freeman, an infielder throughout his pro career, but Stephen Vogt, when he was named the manager, he called Freeman In December, it said, hey, be ready to compete for the job in center in camp. And he beat out Miles Straw, so much so that Miles Straw was taken off the 40-man roster. And Tyler Freeman is really learning on the job here.
Agreed, Summerobe agreed on both Gwynn and Puckett. Consummate professionals, man. Consummate professionals.
To short and Correa. 2 down. So 2 up, 2 down, 5 up, 5 down. Before Will Brennan bats, we hear this word from Blaze Credit Union.
Dan Stoltz here with Tony Oliva. You're a Hall of Famer. You blazed a trail, and that's what we want to do at Blaze Credit Union.
100% Blaze is Minnesota. Go Blaze!
2 down and now Brennan. The Cleveland DH, 8th round pick in 2019. Just outside ball 1. Brennan became the first batter last year to homer against Sonny Gray. Where Sonny began the season going a long time keeping the ball in the ballpark, and then Brennan got him here with a home run out to right. And he went there on a changeup.
Huge contributor last year to Sonny's great year was his ability to keep the ball in the ballpark and then pitch out of trouble and runners in scoring position. Yeah, especially against a team that doesn't hit a ton of home runs.
Wiggly to the right side. Eddie Julian throws out Brennan, and Lopez with a sharp start. 6 up, 6 down. Twins coming up in the second.
Hey there, Brenda.
It's Carol.
Exactly.
Listen to this commercial, y'all.
Operating on.
You mean arm?
It's all connected.
Asking the right question can greatly impact your future.
Are you sure you're an orthopedist?
Actually, I'm a Sagittarius.
Especially when it comes to your finances.
Do you have a question? Are you a certified financial planner? Yes.
David, you mean Holyfield is like
CFP
punch drunk
professionals are committed to acting in
permanently?
your best interest. That's why it's gotta be a CFP. Find your CFP professional at letsmakeaplan.org.
Behold, the DQ freezer.
Yeah, they were pudgy fellas, no doubt.
An extraordinary freezer, holding all the DQ Blizzard flavors of the past.
The DQ freezer is closed.
He wishes his Puckett was kind of a jackwagon away from the stadium. Interesting. Gwynn was not. Gwynn was a cool dude, like even in person. I met him at a card show.
Fan favorite frosted animal cookie and legendary brownie batter. Get these flavors before the DQ freezer closes. Only at DQ.
Leo.
Jake from State Farm.
You did it, buddy.
My personal price plan?
Yeah, your price. It's amazing.
Well, you're the one that suggested bundling home and auto, you bundling bundler.
Hey, who's all about getting themselves an affordable price?
No, I never heard of that double day. That's nuts.
I called our agent.
Bundling. Just another way to save with the personal price plan.
It's true.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
He's here.
I wear a few different hats.
Let your story begin. Target field looks magnificent. Home opener.
Oh, we're behind again.
Carlos Correa leads off the second.
Oh, no, we're not. We're not. My bad.
Change up. He's ahead with strike 1. Correa 5 walks over his last 2 games. 4 hits to begin his season. He's knocked in 3. And now it's 0-2. A healthy Carlos Correa has just been so evident and obvious to start the season. Just watching him run, forget the swing, forget the offensive player here, but the way he's running on the base paths and even defensively, the play he made in left yesterday against Milwaukee, he could not make that physically last year. Shoots this one to right, and that'll land. Leadoff single.
I think I mentioned this earlier in the Kansas City series. When a guy's right, it all starts from the ground up. You hit from the ground up, your feet, your legs, your lower half is what leads to having trust in letting the ball travel. You feel like you've got enough to stay back and still have power. And I think when he's right, he's doing exactly that right there. He's letting that fastball travel, and then he's punishing if you hang him a breaking ball. It's just a great swing.
Now the long-time Guardian, Carlos Santana, who has played in 1,935 big league games and over 1,300 of them with Cleveland. An all-star with the Guardians in 2019. Has always loved hitting here. To right and just foul.
Yeah, they liked him so much at Cleveland, he left and they brought him back.
That's right.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys who liked it in this ballpark.
Well, Jose Bautista always had the best line, right? He'd make this place look small year after year. And he was asked once, what is it about Target Field? He said it's not about the ballpark. Out of all respect, the Twins have pitchers that just throw it over the plate. And I see it, and I'm going to hit it 450 feet, as we saw many, many times here.
It's evolved over the last few years to a swing and miss staff and some guys in the bullpen that run it up there. Most of them run it up there the upper 90s.
This is Santana's 99th career game at Target Field. Near the Cleveland dugout, Naylor, no play.
It's interesting watching his changeup, the velocity, the difference. Anywhere from 9 to 12 miles an hour. A lot of the guys now are throwing it a lot closer. 5-6 mile an hour difference between that fastball and that changeup. We see Pablo's is like 88. It just kind of floats up there. It's got way less vertical movement than a lot of the changeups you see across the game. So he throws it effectively off that high spin four seam that he throws at the top of the zone. Then he has the same arm speed. And he really takes a lot off and just gets that ball to.
Good take just outside.
I don't know if I'd say float in there. That's probably not the right way to put it, but it almost like it's a parachute about halfway there and just sort of pauses on you. And you see, we've seen some of these hitters take some swings where they're really out front. We saw it in Kepler's at bat.
Two. Santana to right, but room in the corner for Laureano. One out. So about that changeup, we'll see if Matt Wallner, a left-handed batter, sees a few of those here. If you're a hitter trying to pick up any tell, because a pitcher may be able to tunnel with where that ball is coming from at the start, but are you looking for, does the arm speed change to give me just a little bit of a hint that this may be changeup as opposed to fastball?
Yeah,
that light bulb story's nuts, Double D. Kelsey, no, I'm not betting on the game personally, no. And betting is not turned on the channel right now for this game.
So the arm action is the same, but then there's a slight difference in the four seam. The fingers are coming straight down across the ball, and then on the changeup, there's a little more hand. You see a little more palm sometimes, and then you see that hand kind of turn over, and you see the back of the hand a little bit more.
Wallner full there. Started, could not stop, and Wallner's been seeing slider after slider. Almost the Trevor Larnach treatment here. 1-1.
Yeah, last year he hit fastballs and off speed, so changeup and splits well, and he struggled with the breaking stuff. So we've seen quite a bit of that so far.
See if the Twins here at home get the bat going for Wallner. 1 for 7 and 5 strikeouts of his first 7 at bats to start the year.
Shout out to John Ryan. Shout out to John Ryan.
Forest Lake native, his first opening day roster. His first big league home run came against Cleveland a couple of years ago. That came in Cleveland off Shane Bieber. And that one got Wallner on his right hand. And did he swing? He did not. And Wallner painfully will be given first base. Wallner was hit 13 times last year, more than any other Twins rookie in a season.
Yeah, the question was, did he go after this? Third base umpire said no. Clip the edge of the hand. So there's certain guys that hold their hand. I was one of those guys that had pinky finger off of the bottom part of the bat, off the knob of the bat, and then some guys, we saw Jeffers yesterday choking up with 2 strikes. You could see some of that exposed, and that one looked like it clipped his hand before it got the bat. And as Wallner, we've seen many times before, he gets hit, Rocco comes out, Papa comes out. And they end up walking back to the dugout because it takes a lot to get him to come out of the game.
Good to see Wallner able to stay in the game. Willie Castro is coming up. Twins have 2 on. Only 1 out. Castro, good numbers last year against the Guardians. 2 hits to begin his season.
No autograph pictures, Summerobe. No autograph pictures. I signed an exclusive contract with Upper Deck, and you have to pull them out of a pack of Prestige.
Back in January. And it's 0-2, and he said, look, when I was a kid, I worked at a dairy farm. Did that in high school. Autumnwood Dairy Farm in Forest Lake, and yeah, I'd drink all the milk that I could. It was around, kind of cleaned the bottles, and it was there. Why not?
It's like rebar. I think that was what Rocco said. Bones made of rebar. He's shown that so far.
Shaking out that hand. 0-2 on Castro. Struck him out at 94. Good sequence there from Bybee. Off speed, they climbed the ladder. 3rd strikeout for Bybee and 2 down here in the 2nd.
Yeah, this is not typically the pitch he goes to for his strikeouts against lefties, but the way he set him up, he threw that first pitch change up at the bottom of the zone. He showed him that he was going to work down, and then you get with a plush change like that, you're telling him to get the ball up. He did.
Have a good one, Kelsey's.
1 outside to Christian Vasquez. 1 for 6 to start the season. Vasquez last started on Tuesday, the opener in Milwaukee. And a 1-1 count. Do you read into anything with how Rocco is using Vasquez and Jeffers this early in the season now, 6 games in?
I think I'd probably wait a few more days to see who's kind of lining up with which starter. If it's more based on, you know, if somebody's more comfortable throwing to another guy, or just kind of how it is. I think just trying to keep both guys involved.
1-2.
The challenge is, if you have this plan in place and, okay, I want Vasquez to catch the home opener with Pablo on the mound and all those things, maybe Cleveland runs, whether you favor one guy against the run game or not. But in a day like yesterday where he drives in 4 runs, you've been struggling to score runs, and he hits a big home run to put you ahead and drives in another one late, of deviating from that plan and saying, well, this guy's hot, I got a plan. We saw him do that down the stretch, and we saw him do it in the playoffs, but earlier in the year, I think they kind of want to still keep both guys involved.
1-2 towards the hole. It's short, and it's off the body of Rocchio. Correa's going to round and hang on. Ramirez hustled after that baseball.
Probably
everybody's safe.
Probably a good call by Correa, though. But that tells you how good his foot's feeling, as you mentioned. As he makes this turn, I think last year he just kind of shuts it down and stops it third. There, he's thinking scoring all the way. Jose Ramirez does a nice job of staying with this play, going after it. And I think Correa would have been out by about 15 feet had he continued on with Ramirez's arm. He'll go down as an E6.
So loads him up for Eddie Julian. Ball 1.
Sometimes this is the perfect at-bat when you're struggling. The pitcher's the one in trouble. You remind yourself of that. You're not thinking about anything else other than trying to get a good pitch to hit and put a good swing on it, and it takes you all out of your mechanics and everything else you're thinking about. Just simplify the approach.
Helmet comes off. Big cut on a changeup.
See, that one, most changeups have a lot more downward movement to them. They fade a lot more, and that one just kind of planes out and stays there and tricks your eyes into maybe thinking that it's a four-seam fastball. You're right. He sells it with the arm action. It's a good pitch for him.
Julian does not have a grand slam yet in his young big league career. 1-2, another changeup.
So that pitch last year, 41.5% of the time was a whiff. Or it was a whiff. So swing and miss. When he needs a swing and miss, when he wants to keep that ball out of play to the left-handed hitters, he goes to that a lot. Almost half the time he throws it, they swing, they just come up empty. So see if Julian can make an adjustment here.
With 2 outs, the 1-2 just took that one inside, did not go on a check swing.
That is absolutely incredible. That's so hard after he fooled you with the 2 previous ones. This one was in the zone right until the last second. Somehow managed to hold up on it.
Fastball, changeup, slider. So far, 2-2, high ball 3, second time that Julian has worked a full count. He struck out looking on a belt-high slider in the first. What's he looking for here, Morning, with the bases loaded?
I don't know. I mean, he's thrown him some good changeups, sliders. I mean, he's only thrown him the first pitch fastball. What does he trust that he can get the strike with the most? He doesn't want to walk in and run here, but he also don't want to give in to a guy with power. If I'm Julian, I'm staying off the fastball and letting everything work off of that and looking for something elevated in the middle of the plate.
Runners go, and a 3-2, strike 3 at the knees. So Bybee twice has struck out Julian looking, and the Twins lead 3. We're joined by a special guest, the great Dick Bremer, when we come back.
I'm Jay, and this is my home. My first big purchase with help from Loan Depot. This is where I play my favorite music. It's my sanctuary. It's my place. It is my home. And home means everything to me.
We want the market price lobster and to know the market price.
How much is whatever the market says?
Sadly, we can't have it all, except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips.
When you choose a Blue Moon, everything.
What you got to say?
Guardians, as we enter the third inning, a special day. It's the home opener, but it's also a very special day. As before this game, the team and everyone helped honor Dick Bremer, who I'm joined by now. Dick, the broadcast booth, the Dick Bremer television broadcast booth. You got to throw out the first pitch caught by no one else than Joe Mauer. What has this day been like for you?
Well, it's been very wonderful, heartwarming. I thank the Twins for it. It's been emotional, of course, when you do something for 40 years and then you ease away from doing it. It's a change, but it's been good. I'm just delighted to be here, to be a part of this opening day, a beautiful day, and a team that I think is going to be pretty good this year.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see you here, but who else is here with you here in this special day?
Well, I've got my family here. The Twins were nice enough to fly my son Eric up here. He's a minor league broadcaster in Pensacola. My wife and my daughter Heidi and Hannah are here. But I'm really delighted that little Dumont, Minnesota, about 75 people live there. Now 4 of them are here. That's my guests, including my elementary school teacher, Darlis Forcier, who is here. And I'm just delighted that she's here. A devout Twins fans, even though she wouldn't let us watch the games in the 1965 World Series, but she loves Twins baseball, and I'm really happy to share this with her.
So special to have everyone here for you. When you mentioned your 40-year career and you look back on it, what stands out to you most?
Just the resiliency of the fans, maybe more than anything else. Here we are. We've got pretty much a packed house. We saw the fan fervor during the playoffs last year. And when I got started in 1983, the Twins were off everybody's radar screen. I remember in that first year doing a 4-game series against the Mariners from the Metrodome that sold a total of 12,000 tickets. And of those tickets, half of them went unused. So to see the region re-engaged with this team and reconnected, Twins territory has really supported this team, and they've gone through a lot over the years, threats of relocation and contraction and all that, but it does my heart good to see the way Twins fans have responded to this year's team.
Many incredible years, Dick. What's your message to?
Like it did in 1987.
Enjoy the rest of the game. From the Dick Bremer broadcast booth.
All right, Katie, thank you very much. Great job, and great to see and hear that voice. Mount Rushmore, brilliance, and 40, the great Ken Herbeck. And he asked me, he said, have you spent much time around Dick Bremer? I said, just a little bit when I was in Milwaukee. Exchanged conversation. He said, you will never engage with a bigger Twins fan than Dick Bremer. And he was absolutely right. Julian throws out. Rocchio and Pablo is perfect through 3, and that man was perfect for 40 wonderful years.
Before tax credits helped transform real estate development, before $1 trillion were allocated for infrastructure, before ESG reshaped private equity investing,
just dawned on me that last night somebody in the chat said that Ohtani had signed with DraftKings to a sponsorship deal, and I totally didn't get it until just now, this very second.
Advisory, assurance, tax. Get ready to change the game.
I'm Jay, and this is my home. My first big purchase with help from Loan Depot. This is where I play my favorite music. It's my sanctuary. It's my place. It is my home. And home means everything to me.
Booking.com.
Vacation ideas?
Ooh, a resort with a great pool.
How about a rental with a bigger pool?
I like that idea.
Find great stays across the USA. Booking.com,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there watching this Ohtani commercial, and it dawns on me.
I mean, they've been crushing it this whole tournament.
Yeah, let's place an order. Hold on, let me ask. Guys, we good with pizza?
That was nasty. Respectfully.
What are we thinking, 2 large? Toppings for the pizza, pepperoni?
I thought we were getting Thai.
Oh, yeah, I like that. I'm sorry, I gotta call you back. I'm done.
Big man, come on, we're cooking over here, right?
NexGard Plus helps you protect your dog from fleas, ticks, heartworm disease, and more. All in one delicious monthly soft chew. Use with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. NexGard Plus, the one you want for one and done protection.
Already here today. 1-1 on Byron.
Really interesting to see. You know, there've been a lot of guys that have been hired out of the.
I believe whenever I read it in the chat last night, my response was something like, "Oh wow, that's cool."
Made that jump and something made the jump back. It's kind of gone back and forth. And it's something that teams are trying to do. For people sitting at home going, "Why aren't the teams trying to do this?" Well, they do, and then sometimes it's just an outside voice that can have an impact. Or in the offseason, when you have the ability to make those adjustments or make those changes, you're more comfortable doing that in a situation where there's no pressure. You can try different things and not worry about having to get sent down to AAA because.
Oh no! They put blocks on the pink Jeep, y'all. Come on now.
Or changing mechanics in a way, and I think that's part of it. So the teams have the data that they use there. The teams have the ability to break down pitchers in their way, but it's just harder to mess with somebody during the season and change things that they're doing.
Full count. There's 97 for Bobby there. Buxton struck out his first time up. Kepler on deck. Struck him out. Slider. So 2 down. 5th strikeout so far for Bobby, who averaged 9 strikeouts per 9 last year. Bring the kids to the ballpark on Sunday, April 7th. For a Kids Club Sunday Fun Day. The first 5,000 kids ages 12 and under here at Target Field will receive a Kids Opening Day beanie plus an exclusive ticket package is available, and it includes a Kids Club kit. For more information, visit twins.com/tickets. A lot of kids at the ballpark today. That little note probably helped out. Excused absence for the home opener, sure, right?
I was encouraging it. I got to open one of the gates. I got to open Harvin Kilbur's gate 3, and kids that came through, I said, "You missing school today?" I think most of them were thinking, "I'm not missing school at all."
Kepler bounced out his first time, 1 for 14 to start his season. As Naylor sets up, got it away. He was away but high.
I like hearing the hum of the ballpark in the background, a full ballpark like it is today. People just waiting to erupt. It's a beautiful sight.
I always like looking at that first game at the new food. Just seeing fans, you know, enjoy the game, maybe have a bite of that brat, that hot dog, sip on the beer. The nacho helmet, ice cream helmet's always popular.
You're gonna be hungry.
It's always Cracker Jack. It's always Cracker Jack for baseball. Big Zig.
First 1, 2, 3 innings so far today.
So which leg are we operating on?
Asking the right question can greatly impact your future.
Are you sure you're an orthopedist?
Especially when it comes to your finances.
Are you a certified financial planner?
I'm a CFP professional.
CFP professionals are committed to acting in your best interest. That's why it's gotta be a CFP.
I wear a few different hats as CFO. You know, sometimes it's referred to as Chief Fixing Officer. Wherever there's a fire in the business, you know, I'm often there first. And I think that's the bit that I really enjoy and love. It kind of spreads more widely than finance.
Whatever hat CFOs like
I'm telling y'all, the monster in the black can
help them knock it out of the park.
I love the other ones, but this one for me, y'all, it's like doing shots. It is so hard.
How about a better breakfast in my college town?
Hotel in a baseball town?
That would be awesome. Thank you.
Find great stays across the USA. Booking.com,
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Rubio. Appreciate it, buddy.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. It's your job to stock the city, restaurants and rooftops.
For Cleveland today, 5 strikeouts with his sliders so far through 3 innings. Pablo Lopez having a tremendous start as well with a 71% strikeout rate. 3 strong scoreless innings for him. And how about Alex Kirilloff, guys? Back-to-back games with a triple. He's been hot to start the season.
Yeah, that he has, Katie. Good start for Kirilloff. Good start for Lopez. And now second time through is Stephen Kwan. Off the first pitch back. Doesn't strike out. Walks at a rate higher than league average. And can create havoc on the base paths if he reaches. 0-2.
96. Starting to loosen up a little bit. We've seen this from him. His ability to maintain velocity, I think that has to do with his off-season work. He's talked a lot about how he's adjusted his program over the last couple of years. Just the work he puts in between starts.
Slice to left. Wallner coming on and started but could not get there. So Wallner was playing shallow and it looked like he was pondering a slide or a dive, but then just pulled up, and Kwan has the first Guardians hit.
I think maybe a little more experience in left field and understanding the hitter. You know, understanding that Stephen Kwan, a guy who's not really going to drive it over his head, and that ball slicing, so it just kind of fell in front of him. I think he read it as a true line drive off the bat, and it ended up, you know, fading late.
Jimenez shows bunt, pulls it back.
I think there's a different level of understanding. The ball Naylor hit out there earlier, backed him up to the warning track. He's got more power. He's squared it up a little bit better. You know, Kwan, when he's going that way, especially as the count goes along, he's just kind of more flipping it over there. Yes, he's finding the good part of the bat, but it's not going to be a backspin line drive.
That's a sharp single to right center. Kwan will round second base, and he will make third without a throw. So here come the Guardians. Back-to-back singles, and Cleveland now is runners at the corners with nobody out.
They get their first base runner, and then they get their second one. It's immediately right after that. He's playing him to pull. Julian playing over in that hole. Kwan doing a nice job recognizing an opportunity to go first to third.
Jimenez at first, so Kwan at third, and now it's Jose Ramirez. Flight out to right to begin the game. A home run, 6 knocked in early on this season. The Guardians under Stephen Vogt, first-year manager, more aggressive early in the count with their swings. That's been evident by their numbers offensively to start, as Ramirez goes after a sweeper, 0-1.
Good pitch right there. Yeah, encouraging maybe a little bit more of an approach of, hey, damage early, and then we'll go to that contact.
36 likes, 516 views, y'all. 36 likes, 516.
No 2 count.
0-2. Yeah, impact, right? Impact early, first 2 or 3 pitches of the at-bat, and then 2 strikes. I think maybe a different approach and more for contact.
Yeah, it was kind of how it was preached to me when I was in the minor leagues. Until you get to 2 strikes, the first 2 are for you, the next one's for the team. So it's sort of that type of approach, trying to do damage.
1-1 inside.
He wants to get that Jeep off a restriction. She ain't no fool. She be trying to get that Jeep off a restriction. Let me say hi.
And his first jam of the game. All-star.
Hey, Miss Leah.
Struck him out.
Struck him out. Take a seat over there. Oh, crap.
A piece of that. Love to see him throw about a shoulder-high four-seam fastball above the zone and see if he can get Ramirez to chase.
Wants it up. Instead, he missed. It looked like that time Vasquez was positioning that glove a bit higher.
Yeah, sometimes you're trying to, whether you think that base coaches are relaying signs or guys on the field or whatever it is, sometimes you flip that sign up in a little, or that glove up in a little different spot to try and throw somebody off.
Full count.
What do you go to here? Nothing but sweepers in that last one, a curveball. He's had a lot of looks at him so far.
Line to right center field, and the Guardians will take the lead. Kwan scores, Jimenez to third, and it's 1-0 Cleveland. Still nobody out here in the fourth inning.
They just gave him a lot of looks at the same pitch, and a hitter like Ramirez, you got to give him credit. I mean, that thing's off the plate, down and away. Somehow he went down and got enough of the barrel to it to drive in that run. You give a guy a lot of looks at the same pitch, you get a pretty good read on speed, what it looks like coming out of the hand.
I thought they just said one guy got struck out. What did I miss?
That's hard to do, right?
Hadn't been done a long time in Cleveland.
Late in the fastball at 96. Again, another early swing from a Cleveland hitter.
Well, especially with traffic out there, runner on third base, less than 2 outs. You get something you can hit to the big part of the field, drive in that run, and take that opportunity.
Jammed, and it's 0-2. Twins infield is playing back. They'll concede the run for Jimenez and try and get 2.
Yeah, Naylor, we saw a few years ago in this ballpark, had that terrible ankle injury. So doesn't run all that well. He'll hustle, but he's a guy you have opportunity to double up if he hits it on the ground.
Collided with Ernie Clement. It was a grotesque injury, and part of me was wondering if he'd ever play again. It was that gruesome of a leg injury, and credit to Naylor for fighting through that. And he's had some huge swings, especially against the Twins.
Welcome to the stream, Axon. Welcome to the stream.
1-1. Three straight singles. Jimenez at third, Ramirez at first. Still nobody out. Check on Ramirez, and he's back in safely. Ramirez runs. Naylor hits that one far but foul. Cleveland 9 stolen bases entering play today to leading the American League.
Yeah, we saw a team in Milwaukee that loved to run that last series. Cleveland here, a little more familiar with Cleveland and how they've liked to play the last few years especially.
So if Ramirez is moving again, he doesn't. Inside, ball 2.
They're such a rare player, a guy who can hit for power, a corner infielder, but then you fall asleep on him, he'll steal, he'll run on you. And with the infield back, it's not a bad play because it takes that double play out of order. If he does take off and he puts it in play on the ground, so let's see how they play it here.
Still 28 bases last year. Stays. Smothered by Vasquez, and now it's a full count.
All right, the shadows at target field now cover home plate. They are moving slowly from right to left towards the pitcher's mound.
Does as well as anyone in the league. Just at the fall in front of Walner, and all of a sudden the rally just kind of started from there for a guy who was in complete control. His first 9 batters he faced.
Signals from Vasquez. 14 pitch first, 8, 9, now 18. It's still nobody out here in a lengthy fourth. Lopez ahead of Ramirez, Naylor rather, but now behind. 3-2 to left and slicing foul.
That's a respect.
I have no idea on the Cleveland coach, Dab Dave. I have no idea, buddy.
Changeup he drove out to left.
Count goes full.
He got beat by a fastball, but he was giving himself a chance to recognize something off speed, to wait on something off speed. He wasn't afraid to get jammed there to make sure that he wasn't too far out front of the good off speed pitches that he throws.
Another stay, 3-2, Strupley to third. Castro has it. He'll look home. And now the Twins have Jimenez in a rundown. Lopez tags out the runner, but the Guardians able to advance both runners. So a lengthy rundown. They get the first out. Jimenez retired, but Ramirez ends up at third, and Naylor is standing at second base.
Yeah, this one, I think if you could do it again, once you recognize Ramirez did a nice job of reading the play, of running him back. The extra throw allowed both runners to advance.
Think about spring training, how often in February that play is worked on. Right rundowns long before Grapefruit League games begin. And a lengthy rundown.
Yeah, it's not necessarily. You'll do it maybe with another runner on base. You'll do it with runners on first and third. But that one, the guy from third, traffic all over, everyone going everywhere. Ideally, you'd like that runner at third base to be running back towards, and then you stop that guy from second, going to third. But they got it out on it, and the run didn't score.
Infield in, Tyler Freeman. Down a strike. Freeman bounced out to Correa. His first time up. 4 home runs in 69 games last year. And was swinging earlier and harder late last year. 3 home runs in a 19-game span. Shallow right center field. That will fall. Ramirez is in. Naylor stops at third base. 2-0 Guardians.
Naylor didn't read this great off the bat. The infield in, there's no way into the infielders were getting to it. Maybe that's a respect for 2 very good outfielders out there, Buxton and Max Kepler. But that same approach through the middle of the field, trying to get something to touch the outfield grass. You look at the metrics of this inning, not a lot of hard hit balls. The hardest hit ball was the one Naylor hit right at Castro at third. But they've managed to score 2 runs and put together a rally by just being able to make contact and put the ball in play.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the difference right now in this game. The 2 teams, Twins had opportunities early and just contact wasn't there in spots like this. Conversely, the Guardians are doing the exact opposite. As Brennan is down a strike.
All right, Dave, have a good day, bro. Have a good day, man. We'll see you tomorrow for the Dodgers.
Just inside. Lopez faced the Guardians 3 times last year. ERA in the mid-4s head-to-head. Did not chase the changeup. Ball 2. Brennan, 8th round pick in 2019. Ahead 2-1. Check swing, did not go. Two in, 2 on, 1 out. Runners at the corners. Fly ball to left. Wallner with room will make the catch. Naylor will tag. Throw comes into second base. Sac fly for Will Brennan. 3-0 Guardians.
Well, Pablo having to work a lot through this inning. Falling behind in some counts. Made some good pitches, but this Cleveland team just continues to put pressure on you by making you throw the ball over and making it very difficult to strike out. It's difficult at bats. They're not just giving up much.
Inside to Laureano. Cleveland came into play today leading the American League in total runs scored. 46 runs before today. Over 6.5 a game. And Rocco's team will have to rally. A lot of baseball left. Just the 4th inning, but the Twins have work to do. One and two.
Yeah, we saw it yesterday, but it becomes a lot more difficult if you're continually trying to play catch up. You end up facing the other team's best relievers along the way.
Soft, hot balls. Soft, hot balls.
That's Jeffers, and we just saw yesterday, a game-winning swing. Ball and 2 strikes on the longtime Oakland A, Ramon Laureano. He's claimed off waivers by the Guardians last season.
Yeah, we're not going to be calling the Oakland A's for much longer. Now they'll be playing in Sacramento starting next year. Asked if they're going to be called the Sacramento A's. I think they said they were just going to be called the Athletics. We'll see how that goes.
Thunderbird, he is warming up in the bullpen. Ball 3 now on Laureano.
Fourth 3-ball count of this inning. It's really starting to run up that pitch count on him.
Freeman, he'll be running here. He takes off 3-2, and Laureano chased ball 4. So a lengthy 4th for Pablo, and the Guardians score 3.
Businesses at the forefront know how managed services and outsourcing can improve efficiency, increase flexibility, and expand access to new technologies. Let CohnReznick's advisors develop a plan. Get ready to change the game.
Every day, more dog people and more vets are deciding it's time for a fresh approach to pet food. They're quitting the kibble and kicking the cans and feeding their dogs dog food that's actually, well, food. Developed with vets, made from real meat and veggies, portioned for your dog, and delivered right to your door. It's smarter, healthier pet food. Get 50% off your first box at thefarmersdog.com/realfood.
I'm still laughing, Dave. I'm still friggin' laughing.
Guardians right-hander.
I'll see if they can continue, much like they did in yesterday's game, of keep getting guys on base, and eventually good things are going to happen. And I think they've had some opportunities 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position, but just keep doing, keep grinding, keep making them have to make pitches.
And Correa smacks the first one he sees for a base hit to left. I was just going to say that this is not an automatic take. And we saw Correa do that earlier this season. In fact, during the Bailey Over start on Sunday, after a lengthy inning, he led off and swung at the first pitch. And he does it again here. So we welcome you inside the Dick Bremer TV booth. Corey Provis, Justin Morneau, now joined by the Twins president of baseball operations, Derek Falvey. Welcome back to Target Field, my man.
Thanks
How are
for
you?
having me. Appreciate it.
A good start to the inning. Correa with a leadoff single. Am I right thinking that that's become not a guaranteed take anymore after your starter has a lengthy inning?
Yeah, you know, each guy, Justin can speak to this more than anybody, but each guy has their approach against a certain type of pitcher. First time through, second time through, you're trying to figure out what he's trying to get you to do. And Carlos is such an advanced hitter with such a good feel. Obviously jumping on a pitch in the zone right away there.
Now Carlos Santana bats. What was intriguing about Carlos Santana bringing him on board?
You know, Carlos, we've seen him for a lot of years in the American League Central, and I've known him a long time, but this guy has always put together really good at-bats. You talk about working a count, you know, understanding the game. The impressive part about him is he's really worked himself into an above-average first baseman. He's played really good defense over there. He's just a great fit for our lineup and the way our roster is constructed in a way that allows us to get good infield defense, but also a guy who can get on base and drive some runs in, too.
Down 0-2 here in the fourth. Ooh, Twins caught a break.
How much concern was there going into the offseason? We mentioned earlier how good Correa looks, moving around the field. You know, that he was going to get back to this level, being able to move around just like he has, like we've seen so far in this early part of the season.
Yeah, you said it, Justin. I mean, you know, early in the offseason, we knew the plantar fasciitis was something that he wanted to address. And he was able to get some treatment on it early, and we just kept having check-ins, you know, every couple of weeks. The doctor that he was working with down in where he lives in Houston, and ultimately just continued to hear good things. And then really where it ticked up is when we saw him over the course of the winter. Some of our strength guys went down and saw him running, and they said, we haven't seen Carlos run like this, you know, in a year's time now. So just excited to get him back in at full strength. Obviously, he's been a big part of things early going here.
The center and shallow for Freeman. And Santana is retired, one down, and the batter is Matt Wallner. What's your takeaway? It's a small sample here, Derek, but just a 5-game run here as we see now Pablo in the second time through this rotation. Your take on the team?
Nah, I'm good, Dave. I'm good, bro.
Yeah, you know, there's been some ups and downs along the way, right? But when you go on a road trip, right, and you come back 3-2. Kansas City's a good team. They're better, you know, certainly, and they've shown it. They've played good baseball to this point.
Just engaging with the chat, bro. Just engaging with the chat.
Gotten better. Nothing's given to you. So our focus, certainly the way Pablo pitched first time through, obviously tough inning there, but we know he's going to be our leader. Joe Ryan threw the ball really well. A couple of our other starters didn't get as deep as we would like. We know that, but those guys will be on track here soon. And I think we saw late in the game yesterday the way our offense can click when a lot of things are going. I think a lot of guys are starting to feel it a little bit, and hopefully we get a little more offensive production.
Strike 2 on Wallner, and a healthy Alex Kirilloff right now. I mean, this looks like a guy that we saw earlier, we've seen before, but when everything's right physically, that's a sweet swing he has.
No doubt. And Alex, going back to when he was in the minor leagues and just briefly came up, you know, at the end of that year in the big leagues, we saw that swing. We saw that consistency. I mean, his bat stays in the zone for a really long time. He has the ability to drive ball to all fields. You know, and we're seeing that now. He stays on balls. He's taking good swings. He's always had a good feel for the strike zone. So now we're seeing a healthy, productive Alex Kirilloff. Hopefully that just adds to the likes of Byron Buxton and others that are going to be a big part of this.
Yes, it's probably way too early in the season for this question, but Wallner kind of struggling in spring training, struggling to start the year. Obviously a little different with younger players than, say, like a guy with a track record like Correa or Carlos Santana. So he's better goes around.
And a landing right, so Castro a 2-out single.
Put a little more time here, but is there, I mean, how do you balance that kind of evaluating the players early in the season in the month of April? Is it like, okay, we'll see where we're at the end of April or through the middle of May, or is there a certain time frame, or is it just kind of watching day to day and how they're going about their business?
Yeah, it's really tricky, Justin. You know this as well as anybody. As a young hitter coming up, you need to have that feeling that everyone has confidence in you, in your abilities, and to go out there. And I know Rocco has a ton of confidence in him. We saw what Matty could do in the second half last year. He was a really productive hitter up here. You go through some of those ups and downs. You have to adjust to the adjustments that the pitchers make to you. He's going through that right now, but we have a ton of confidence in what Matt can be, certainly as an impact bat somewhere in the middle of this lineup, and we just need to continue to support him in that way. We'll see how everything shakes out. Obviously, you have to produce at this level, but we're continuing to support him.
Vasquez, he reached on a fielding error in the second.
He's got that rare kind of power that's hard to find.
No question.
And that one is missed by Naylor. And now the runners advance 90 feet. Correa to third and Castro down to second. So a base hit here from Vasquez could make this a one-run game.
Your typical season week, the minor leagues are going. How many times do you try and get down there and see, get your eyes on each one of the players in the system?
We have a great group that goes and can certainly.
We haven't been able to watch it since the weekend. That's what we're going to do tonight. Summer Road. We'll watch a bunch of episodes tonight, but we haven't watched it since I think it was Saturday.
High and deep to center field. Freeman going back, still going on the warning track, and Tyler Freeman runs it down right near the 403 sign. Derek Falvey, thanks for your time. We'll talk much more along the way.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Twins lead 2 more, down 3 after 4.
One of 10. How am I doing, Marcus? How am I doing compared to the other ones? I'm not sure what happened to the audio here. It went mute.
Stand up to cancer.
Together.
Together. Together.
Together.
Kyle Tucker is doing it at the major league level.
Yeah.
Seems like every game we're impressed by him a little bit more.
Deep to right field, it's gone! King Tuck!
Talk about his defense, which is elite.
I gotcha. A lot of the Spanish channels show check-ins on video. A couple years ago, I tried that, and it got me a copyright strike. So I don't think that's going to last for long.
Justin, have you two ever thought about sitting in a boat? And
but a lot of them do show
I certainly haven't, but
live check-ins, like of between pitches and everything. So they'll get caught and they'll get shut down.
Captain seats up to
They'll get a little
12,
timeout.
I should say. You could get a bunch of tickets, get a party in here. What better to be sitting in a boat chair, hanging out with your friends than this setup they have? So yeah, you can find me sitting on the dock, you guys, throughout the season, and hopefully a lot of fans tune into it as well. Twins.com/tickets. Check it out.
Very cool. Very cool, Katie. That's a great place to take in the game. Got a Michael Kadire fan out there in the dock and right.
How more Minnesotan does it get than that? Right. Pontoon boat in the outfield. That's perfect.
A walleye sandwich out there. Yum. Nice.
No DUI boating there either.
And 2 is high. On Bo Naylor. How familiar are you with the Naylor brothers?
You get to, so Baseball Canada does a good thing. It's such a close group of Canadian baseball players. It's just, every year there's between 10 and 20 at any point in the big leagues, and every winter there's a fundraising dinner that guys get together and go back for. Naylor brothers, one of them seemed to be getting an award every year, whether it was through the junior team or through the senior national team. And it was always good to see them. It's always good to get to know the young Canadian players. So yeah, I got to know them since they were in high school, all 3 of them. So real good kids, nice family, tremendous baseball players.
Second strikeout for Lopez is Naylor. As Bo Naylor retired. And now the shortstop, Brian Rocchio. Beat out Gabriel Arias for the starting spot at short. Switch hitter. Grounded out to Eddie Julian in the third. And it's 0-2.
He went, didn't get his first strikeout to the last out of the fourth. Now strikes out Naylor to start the fifth. And another opportunity, 0-2 count here.
Back-to-back strikeouts ahead of Rocchio. No balls and 2 strikes.
It's amazing, though. You know, he's given up the 3 runs on some singles and whatever else. But the Twins been able to score early. That line has a completely different look. And they're able to take advantage of a couple of those spots and scratch a run across. He's still giving him a chance. He's keeping him in it.
Twins 0 for 6 so far with runners in scoring position. And we saw it play out last inning. The Guardians have been fantastic in that spot early on, hitting almost 340. Julian will lead off the 5th for the Twins. Pulled, just foul. Thanks again to Derek Falvey for stopping by and during the commercial break. Injury up.
I think so, Aoxen. I think possible 5 and 5.5. But I suck at gambling, so take that for what it's worth.
And Thielbar is here, and the plan is for Thielbar to face some hitters here at Target Field Saturday or Sunday. And if that goes well, then go out for a rehab assignment next week. So of all the Twins' arms right now that are down for Rocco Baldelli, it seems like Thielbar may be the soonest and more ready to come back than the other. And now he just lost Rocchio. And there's the first walk issued by Pablo Lopez today. So Stephen Kwan is coming up, but first we hear this word from Tria.
For some of our patients, the goal is hoisting the trophy, or you just want to hoist your grandkids. At Trio Orthopedics, we'll treat that knee so you can be there to lift them up.
Kwan got the 3-run fourth going. The 0-2 base hit to left, and down a strike here. Pulled sharply to right, and this one's going to scoop by Kepler and find the wall. Rocchio will be held on a double from Stephen Kwan.
Well, not a very typical Pablo Lopez start, and the fact that he's only struck out 2. He walked the number 9 hitter, just some things we're not used to seeing. And Kwan, this is what happens when you use the whole field and you show you're willing.
Hey, Summer O, big news on the channel, dude. Big news on the channel. YouTube analytics. My demographic has always been that 65 to 75 range. That was the highest percentage demographic. They're coming home. Got him.
And Rocchio is out. Contact play was on. Andre Jimenez is safe.
Anyway, the 35 to 45-year-olds are coming strong. They're coming on strong. They're just mere percentage points, tenths of a percentage point below the 75 to 85.
That was close.
That was close. And remember here, as you watch this, laces don't count. So you see the laces there from Vasquez, but clearly got some of the meat of the glove.
Got him on the cheek, it looked like. It was close, though.
Any tag play, no matter the base, plate, if the tag is applied with the laces of the glove, that would not count as an out.
This play by Santana, though, not panicking right there, just coming up, making a good feed. There was a time where you wouldn't dare slide head first into home plate because that catcher would just be sitting there and you'd end up with a broken finger sliding into his shin pad. The game's changed a lot.
Ramirez to left and playable for Wallner. In the sunshine, Wallner makes the catch and Lopez works out of it. Guardians make some noise but do not add on.
I wear a few different hats.
Yeah, no shit.
As,
Life Alert
CFO,
and
you know, sometimes it's referred to
AARP.
as Chief Fixing Officer. Wherever there's a fire in the business, you know, I'm often there first. And I think that's the bit that I really enjoy and love. It kind of spreads more widely than finance.
Whatever hat CFOs like
David
him
Yee
need to
reporting
wear,
Miami
Sage
might get
tools
their
and
first win
insights
today.
help
They're
you knock
leading
it out of the
4-1
park.
in the fifth.
Sage, helping business flow.
And the Mets might not lose. They're winning 1-0 in the fifth.
Want to put your baseball skills to the test? Then
Subscriber hype.
Holy Jesus. What is that?
Make it a Friday.
What the fuck is that?
The reigning AL East champs head into Beantown on MLB Network's Thursday Night Showcase. Rutschman Henderson and the high-powered O's square up against Rafael Devers and the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, they've been going on about Mayberry, Johnny. Mayberry and I Love Lucy.
Live at 7 Eastern. Then, after the game, stick around as TV's best baseball analysts break down the game's critical moments and assess player performances. The Casamigos Tequila MLB Tonight post-game show. It all starts right after the game here on MLB.
By Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Luther Auto. Shop the Twin Cities' largest selection of vehicles at lutherauto.com. Eddie Julian. 2 at-bats, 2 strikeouts. He struck out twice, looking both on 3-2 counts. Facing Tanner Bybee in his second start. And the slider is in for strike 1. Julian.
They need a jolt here. They need something to get everybody going.
Change up high. Julian 2 for 17 to begin his season. 0 for his last 11. Close. 2-1.
Big is absolutely crushing Grover right now. Absolutely crushing him in that Mets game.
Ball 3. Activity in the Guardians bullpen. Right-hander Nick Sandler. He's warming up. Julian, 3-1 count. Fly ball left field. Quan twisting, turning. That's going to be gone. You ask for a jolt.
Home run. Let's see if this thing works, y'all. Let's see if it works.
Going the other way for his first home run. And the Twins will get a
Johnny hits a high fly ball deep left field. And he's back in.
Fastball turned around.
Somebody left-handed batters did that last year against Biden. He gave up 13 home runs. He gave up only 2 to left-handed hitters.
And sends the ball way up there.
One Canadian called it. The other Canadian delivered. Off the plate as Kirilov pops it up. Rocchio makes the catch.
David Yee at $2. Valhalla holla. Thank you so much, David.
Also show you, I'll give you a good look at where the pitch is. He's set up in. That ball's right down the middle. That's the camera I like the most to look at to see location of pitches. You can tell height from that.
So the home run video took CPU usage up to like 50%.
Whether it was I took a pitch or swung at a pitch. I always felt like that was I could get a lot of information on that camera. And then also you get that overhead and you see if your head is.
Thank you so much, though, David.
Towards home plate, you can kind of see where your shoulder line is. It's a great look to understand exactly how you're moving.
Buxton to right. Plenty of room for Laureano. And 2 down.
This is where I kind of think it can be frustrating if you're Cleveland, a team that doesn't hit a bunch of home runs. You do all that work to score 3 runs. I say all, but all the Twins have to do now is get 1 runner on and 1 big swing, and the thing's all tied up. You think of all the at-bats.
Lakers are off tonight, Johnny. Lakers and Dodgers both off tonight.
Square one up, hit the seats, get somebody on, square another one up, and it's all tied up. And I think that can be frustrating as an offense to know that you have to work. Well, harder is the right word, but you got to grind out every single at-bat and not give anything away because you just don't have a lineup that's built for that 3-run.
Yeah, that's my next Lakers stream as well, the Saturday one.
It's asking to your starting staff to just, hey, do your best. You know, try to keep the opposition 1, 2, 3 runs to keep us in the game. That's a lot to ask.
Yeah, you're trying to win a lot of 1-run ball games. You're trying to win a lot of close games, low-scoring games. You're not leaving yourself a lot of room for error, and it was the error at shortstop that kind of led to that first scoring opportunity the Twins had where they weren't able to take advantage.
Skips away, ball 1.
But you almost have to play perfect baseball. You almost have to be an exceptional team and hitting with 2 strikes. And it's served them well some years, and it's been more challenging in a year like last year.
I thought it was Minnesota. Do they play a back-to-back Saturday and Sunday?
So far today. Watches this one foul.
I do not feel like he has seen.
Oh, I got a Dodger game on Saturday during the Laker game. That's what's going on there.
Lock in on that release point.
Did he go? Did not. Held back, says Paul Clemens.
It's one indicator for me is if
my next Laker one is Sunday night against Minnesota.
Oh, it was real close. Might have got away with that one.
But cannot hold off the low breaking ball there, and Kepler strikes out. The Twins are on the board.
Oops. I think the mouse might have been in the wrong spot there, y'all. Maybe. Butterfly in the house. What's up, Butterfly? We got the Cubs. We got the Cubbies starting tomorrow. 3 games set. I think all 3 of them are day games too.
Pablo Lopez out to begin the 6th, which counted 81. He threw 84 pitches in his first start. 1-1 to Josh Naylor. Ball 2. Naylor, despite you think of him, big guy, strong, hits the ball a long way, but a low strikeout rate. Makes a big cut there, nearly fell back onto one knee. You know, league average 22% strikeout rate last year. Naylor only struck out 14% of the time.
Yeah, it's for a pretty high average. He wants to be known as a complete hitter.
Yeah, Dodgers got on a plane headed to Chicago about 2 hours ago, y'all.
He's always been able to hit since he was a kid.
And you reminded me that earlier today, thinking back to the 2014 All-Star game, during the home run derby, Naylor, he was involved.
Yeah, as a high school kid, he was hitting balls with a metal bat up there where we saw Walner hit him last year. Incredible to see.
Looked like he went. He did.
He fooled him. Committed. Looked too far off from where Kepler was at.
Naylor, 26 years old. Tyler Freeman is on deck. And the Guardians have promising young talent in the minor leagues at first base. And Kyle Manzardo, they received him from the Rays for Aaron Savali last year. A bullet on the ground to right, but Julian on a knee makes the play. So one down here in the 6th inning. Let's take a look at our Health Partner Sports update. Shohei Ohtani was first as a Dodger in a 5-4 win of the Giants last night. The Dodgers rolling 7-2 to begin the season. Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, and that great team. Look at all those seeds. They'll be here at Target Field to start a 3-game series on Monday night. And tickets available Monday night, Tuesday night.
What's up, Rich? What's going on, Rich?
Twins and the Dodgers here at Target Field coming up next week.
A former Twin, Taylor Rogers there. But it's the traveling show. The Dodgers. No pun intended there.
I think you were after something there.
I'm not that witty.
1-1 count.
I remember Ryan Sandberg. I've got his rookie card here somewhere.
It's a good challenge early in the season to kind of see where
Harry
you're at.
Carey history. It's part of the history of baseball.
Freeman to left center. And plenty of room for Buxton. 2 down. And oh, by the way, Mookie Betts, he's doing okay at short, right? I mean, I think we probably don't, and we'll talk more about this when the Dodgers come to town, but, you know, right fielder went to second, and then Gavin Lux had trouble throwing in spring training. Hey, Mookie, play short and see how it goes. No problem.
Yeah, then go ahead and start the year with 5 homers in your first 8 games, wherever they're at. Just, it's next to Shohei Ohtani hitting and pitching, it's the most impressive thing we've seen in the big leagues in a long time. I mean, not all these guys, but a lot of these guys go from the infield to the outfield, but it's a corner infield spot at second base. And I mean, who can go out there and play Gold Glove in the outfield and then play maybe Gold Glove caliber on the infield? It's incredible what he's doing. You think of what Willie Castro did last year for the Twins, kind of bouncing back and forth.
That's correct, Rich. That's correct.
Back and forth, but
Tony Gwynn, Wade Boggs as well that year. Yep. I've got the complete set, and I've got singles on all 3, I believe.
For a player to look at that and just understand how difficult that actually is.
Dodgers scoring over 6 runs a game. Guardians slightly better than that so far. 3 on the board today. Pittsburgh in there as well. Pirates off to a good start again under Derek Shelton, 5-1. Change of pace there, 2-2. Rocco Baldelli having Lopez go back out here for the 6th inning. Pitch count is now at 94. I can't think of another starter right now this early, considering the long innings that Lopez had, 4th, 5th inning. You know, Thunderbird, he's been warming up for a while now, that he let him go back out. And this is a 2-out single from Brennan. And we'll see if Rocco allows Lopez to see one more.
I think the challenge of it was the back-to-back shorter starts from Paddock and Varland. He went to the bullpen, had to use the guys for multiple innings.
I think the Twins are headed to the pen.
Tried to squeeze the last out and finish off the 6th out of Lopez, but looks like that'll be the end of his day.
Lopez's next start will be here against the Dodgers. So he will leave here after
And a guy with a really long name coming in for the Twins.
Coming in when we come back.
That's insane, Rich. That's a hell of a set, though, man. How far are you?
I wear a few different hats as CFO.
I've never had a card graded, dude.
Chief
Never.
Fixing officer. Wherever there's a fire in the business, I'm often there first. And I think that's the bit that I really enjoy and love. It kind of spreads more widely.
Thunderbird coming in.
Whatever hat CFOs
to
like
pitch.
Imran need to wear, Sage tools and insights help them knock it out of the park. Sage, helping business flow.
I'm going to take Thor
Before
out,
tax
y'all. I'll grab
credits
back.
helped transform real estate development, before $1 trillion were allocated for infrastructure, before ESG reshaped private equity investing, CohnReznick's industry-leading advisors understood these market forces and helped our clients change the game. Let us help put your business at the forefront to optimize performance, manage risk, and maximize stakeholder value. CohnReznick, advisory, assurance, tax. Get ready to change the game.
Step inside the Infiniti QX60.
I had to buy something. He's your brother.
Where are we supposed to hang it?
In the attic? Facing the wall?
Enough room to keep your cargo.
Brought to you by Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. And by the Minnesota Lottery. Are you game for a little excitement? Just say I'm in. Minnesota Lottery. Must be 18 or older to play. Home arrivals of Correa, Buxton, and Lopez earlier today. And Lopez done after 95 pitches. Responsible for Will Brennan at first base, 5 2/3. Gave up 3 runs, all coming to the 4th inning.
Vandenberg getting back out there since the first time since the Kansas City series, and immediately hits Mariano. Not how he wanted to start that outing. Just going to misfire up and in. Missed the old bat, got him square in the triceps.
Vandenberg last season made his big league debut here against Cleveland.
Incredible strikeout rate. Yeah, he had a good showing in those 12 innings that he threw. Earned his way onto the roster in the spring with a couple of injuries.
Slider outside as Vasquez. You see what Vasquez did. His right hand say, hey, 2 pitches, neither have been close.
Well, you mentioned Pablo earlier. How's the field going to be? Vandenberg coming out of spring training and then pitching in that Kansas City series, hasn't really thrown in cold weather yet either this year. The feel not there on those first 2 pitches. It's the lack of humidity at this time of year affects the grip as much as anything else. You don't really have that same lather. You're not sweating as much, and you just don't have that same type of feel on the baseball. And then you hit a guy with your first pitch, and then it can get in your head a little bit.
Lefty-lefty matchup here with Naylor. And Vandenberg has missed now on his first 3 pitches. Tim Herron warming up in the Cleveland pen, and that's just high. Second at bat this season for Naylor against the lefty, and there's a strike. Two on, 2 out, 2-run game. Now go foul. And now 3-2. Naylor, this is Bo Naylor, a first-round pick in 2018. For now, he chases a bit more than his brother Josh does at the big league level. Much smaller sample, though.
That mantle is my favorite card, bro. My favorite card. I don't have one, never have. But it's my favorite card ever in baseball. I do, Rich, have a... I actually had it made for my old man. And then he passed away. But it's those Topps Refractor cards. And there was 19 cards in the set for Mantle. And I got them framed for him with a Yankee pennant. And I now have that.
So Lopez retired the first 2 men, but now 3 straight have reached. And a big spot in this game is coming up right now.
So this might be the most important at-bat in the second half of this game. You got to keep it right here. You got to leave those runners there. You got one back with that home run, get an uphill climb.
Rocchio down a strike, switch hitter.
Yeah, I'm not a Yankee fan, so it basically sits in the tavern on the floor.
0 for 1 today. And Vasquez sees this one pop away from his mitt, but stays nearby. Runners hold. Small sample here for Rocchio. You compare his numbers. How does he fare? Right-handed hitting, left-handed hitting. Batting average lower from the right side. Slugging a bit lower. And now he's ahead 2 balls and a strike.
Close there. He was able to hold up though. We're kind of around the zone, not really competitive misses. There some misfires in there.
2-2. Remember the high cutter.
Gotcha. My son never got into it, cards. He don't like sports, period.
It's hard with a reliever to do that, to try and eliminate pitches without having too much to look at. If you see them all over the place, and maybe try and strike the strike zone a little.
Not close, full count, and now nowhere to put him. Kwan would hit next if Rocchio extends the inning. 3 on, 2 out. And the 3-2 pitch. Left side, it's Correa.
Oh, wow. Correa boots it.
And now Correa will have.
But they hang up a dude. Come home. Now they got a dude hung up between home.
Runs a man back. Correa bobbles once the feed, and the tag is applied by Santana.
Wow.
And they get the 3rd out in a wild play.
Rough play by Correa there. Rough sequence, but they managed to get it done.
Wild baseball back and forth. A botched play by Correa. The Guardians get 1, but that's all they get. Still, the Twins are down 3.
You're constantly attuned to your team's needs, Libra, to the point that you often overlook your own. You might
All right, 45 likes, approaching 1,000 views.
Conflict in the dugout, but everyone will be happy to hear you out. Taking a stronger stance on any issues that come up will only bring the team closer together.
Pride, persistence, perseverance. Hank Aaron's legacy still inspires. MLB Network celebrates the 50th anniversary of surpassing the Babe with a special MLB Tonight live from Atlanta, Monday 5
There you go,
Eastern,
Summer
followed
Old.
by Mets Braves.
Want to put your baseball skills to the test? Then get ready to show your stuff with MLB Pitch, Hit, and Run. The official youth skills competition of Major League Baseball. Sign up for free for a chance to play your way to the Pitch, Hit, and Run finals at the 2024 World Series.
All right, y'all, I'm seriously thinking about running one more test and then ending this at 1,000, taking a nap. Rest up for my Ted Lasso watching this evening.
You're constantly attuned to your team's needs, Libra, to the point that you often overlook your own. You might be worried that if you speak up, it'll cause conflict in the dugout.
Here is maybe Castro blocked off Correa just a little bit, and then a rundown that doesn't happen great, but you see on the right side of your screen, Santana's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. Once that runner vacates first base, it's your responsibility to get there and get home plate, get the pitcher out of the play. So he played that absolutely perfect, and that's what experience, I think a lot of people think.
Okay, so I'm going to try to do something here. It's not going to look right on your screen, y'all. It is not going to look right on your screen.
Would cost him a run if he's not in the right position. So Santana having a complete understanding.
But I'm going to bring up
play is supposed to work, gets himself in the right spot.
The 3D version of the cartoon thing.
This is popped up. Naylor near the dugout, stretching and just out of reach.
And see if I can handle it with what I've done. So I'm going to go to the 2 screen.
Mask is in his hand. He can't feel where that rail's at. So you could get rid of the mask and then feel with that right hand to see exactly where you're at.
And see if there's a difference.
Fall down the stairs. So he was there. He was tracking it, but didn't exactly know where that railing was at in the ballpark. He's not all that familiar with.
This one again, hooking near the dugout, and Ramirez won't get there.
Need to do that.
You can already tell it's running much smoother.
2 singles.
However, don't appear to be synced up.
Takes his time.
I think that is 4 earned runs for Pablo. If that was an error,
I have that as 3.
Yeah, 4 runs, 3 earned to close out his line. That was the last runner he was responsible with after he came out of the game.
The rookie was at bat and reached down an error. As Correa does a bite on the breaking ball, still Bybee out there.
What's the count here?
And Cleveland has done a
2-2.
over the years and just drafting.
So actually, it's way behind.
Pitching. Bybee is a 5th-round pick. As we said, finished 2nd in the Rookie of the Year voting last year and just struck out Correa looking at a changeup. 9th strikeout for Tanner Bybee.
Right, so let me go here. I'm going to refresh this.
The start of that away, it's a good pitch for him. Just the way he sells it, the way he finishes it off, and that'll be the end of his day. Great bounce back start for him, able to keep a good Twins lineup down. Pitched out of some trouble, picked up his teammates early. The play wasn't made behind him, and racked up the strikeouts.
So Bybee is gone. Guardians bullpen is in when we come back.
So I'm going to try to get it synced up
to your team's needs,
when they come back from commercial.
To the point that you often overlook your own. You might be worried that if you speak up, it'll cause conflict in the dugout, but everyone will be happy to hear you out. Taking a stronger stance on any issues that come up will only bring the team closer together.
All right, we broke 1,000 views. That's copyright music. USC hiring Ed Musselman as their men's basketball coach. I like the label names on the players. That helps a lot, says Butterfly. Hey, well, welcome back, Rich. We're glad you're back. We're glad you're back and glad you're hanging out here on VST. The Ohtani New Balance commercial again. Not his DraftKings commercial. Sometimes they stack up. Summer Obe. on the pitcher's mound there. It's funny, and then they start bouncing around. Boom, 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 boom.
Visit twins.com/suites or text suites to 516.
So I'm going to sync up here. This first pitch, I'm going to stop. It already says 1 out.
Lefty Tim, don't call me Lumpy Heron.
What does that mean?
Minnesota Golf fans who know who that is.
Swing and a miss. And this guy isn't even in the box yet. All right, bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. I don't know why they're already showing 1 out on the board, though.
So for 2, he is lined out and flied out to center. Well, it's 1-2 with the lefty Heron on the mound. And Will Margot is on deck. It's a bat for Matt Wallner.
None of this makes sense. Santana is 0-2, the count.
And did he swing? And that one hit Santana, but he swung. So he is rung up. Ryan Adderton, the home plate umpire, he made that call right away.
I got him in the back foot. That'll tell you how much the back foot. And now that'll bring Margot up to pinch hit.
Rocco Baldelli confirmed after the game yesterday and again to
Right, so I'm going to pause it on the first pitch to Margot. It locked up, though.
Margot, when he bunted yesterday, that was a decision that the batter made on his own.
Yeah, like they're in a mosh pit.
Odd sequence in Milwaukee. And Margot was asked to pinch hit.
CPU's handling it just fine. I just had too many things running in the background on OBS.
Did he go? He did. Boy, you saw that swing from Santana. Now it's Margot just not reading that slider.
Yeah, big, tall 6'6" lefty. Gets real closed off when you see that right there. Turns his back to the hitter and then makes it that much more difficult for the hitter to see that ball out of the hand. It's hidden for a long time, especially for the righties. You know, sometimes isn't that lefty who does that, it can actually be a little more challenging to see that ball.
Bill got a piece. Let's with us a bit about Heron and some of his background. 29th round pick, and that round doesn't even exist anymore. From the Indiana Hoosier. Twins down 3, 2 down. Heron off the mound, underhand toss. Yeah, that's the inning. Through 6, still 4-1 Guardians.
So we're headed to the 7th.
Tuesday. It's an early start for the intentional.
Like I said, when we look at this secondary screen here, it's not going to line up, y'all.
Welcome back the legendary 2014. Capped off with the Red Sox home opener against the Orioles. Live on MLB Network.
Want to put your baseball skills to the test? Then get ready to show your stuff with MLB Pitch, Hit, and Run. The official youth skills
I saw that they let Siciliano go. That's insane. Yeah, I adjusted a bunch of stuff, CeeLo, where I turned off, you know, features that I have that were running in the background, where I just made them go inactive when they're not being seen. And it's handling it a lot better. I don't know if I'm struggling camera-wise. Let me bring it up. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there is some lag in the camera. But something I realized too is I was like, how are other people doing this? And I'm struggling so badly with it. And y'all got to remember that my overlays, my setups always have the transitions going on. So you've got up there by the scoreboard, you've got that transition that's occurring. That's a pull on the CPU. If we're on the secondary screen, you've got the dono scroll down there that's a pull on the CPU. Even that little audio bar is a pull on the CPU.
He's not a lifetime threat. His time in the big leagues, he's hit, and he continues to hit. You saw why with 2 strikes off Lopez earlier, flipped one the other way.
It definitely struggles with it, though, no doubt.
I mean this as a compliment. He's a pest. He's a guy who goes up there. He's battling through the at-bats. He forces you to throw strikes. He doesn't chase. He makes a ton of contact.
The short, Correa.
And I mean, it lags quickly, too.
One down here in the 7th inning. Andres Jimenez is coming up.
Like, this fool's already out. He's still standing there, screwing around at the plate.
Jimenez.
So I'm going to pause it until Jimenez swings and misses at this next pitch. Oh, absolutely, CeeLo. Absolutely, bro. It's not only that, but this one is especially bad because it's tracking each and every player on the field. Come on, man. You missed it. What is going on?
10 arms. And the Guardians, they clobbered the Mariners yesterday 8-0. So all their top arms are available today. Now, like the Twins, the Guardians are missing some key guys in the bullpen. Some Henches on the IL. Trevor Stephan on the IL. James Karinchak is on the IL. Weekly left side. This will be a tough play. Correa on the run. Up to the task. Can it be perfect with
It's on the top. It's the main window. It is the priority window.
Jimenez hustling up the line. Correa did just that.
That was a great look of life as a hitter with the shadows the way they are right now. Light to dark. Ball was bright for about half of the way to the plate, and then all of a sudden it just sort of disappears on you, and that's the type of contact you get a lot of times. Broken bat off the end, and you're right, Correa. Great play. You see how he's standing where he's at in the shadows. So the ball comes out of his hand. It immediately goes into the bright and then sort of disappears on you again.
Yeah, YouTuber, they said. Exactly, bro.
91 to 95. Without that,
this is my favorite shot, CeeLo, right here, but I just
here.
can't use it. It's obvious that I can't use it.
2-0 on Ramirez. 1 for 3 today, scored back at the pivotal 3-run 4th. To right, shallow. Julian out, Kepler in, and Kepler taking charge. Calls off Julian, and there's an 11-pitch inning for Cody Funderburg. You stretch. Twins coming up down 3.
All right, so now I'm going to do the 7th inning stretch and see just how horrible it is. If we crash, we crash. Oops, that's the home run. Yeah, the 7th inning stretch struggling too. You hear it pulling. What's up, Miss Sheila? How you doing, Miss Sheila? Yeah, she got a bat, 2 hats, all signed, and met Ohtani. A bat autographed, 2 Dodger hats autographed, and met Ohtani and took a picture. Yep, so I'm lagging 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom, 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 boom. All right, let me go back to the regular.
Early, got some clutch outs and big
I think I've seen what I need to see, y'all.
5 and a third, 1 run on the Julian home run. He struck out 9. As we take a look at his strikeouts today, StatCast is powered by Google Cloud.
Yeah, Katie pointed out 6 of those on the slider. It wasn't only the slider that he had working. The changeup was very good. He used that a lot to the lefties to neutralize them. Ran that fastball up at the top of the zone. Occasional curveball, but stuff as advertised for the guy who finished second in the Rookie of the Year voting last year. It was a real good bounce back start after struggling a little bit through his first one. Command was good. Now you get to face a lefty. You mentioned Henches being on the IL. A hard throwing tall lefty.
It's not the best, bro, but I mean, this is a newer PC. It's less than a year old.
Like you mentioned last inning will make this challenging as Castro takes low.
It's an all-in-one computer. I bought it at Costco. It's not like a high-dollar jobby, but I mean, we're that like right now.
Starting third baseman.
This fool just walked, and he just got in the box.
During player introductions earlier today, no surprise there.
Kings versus the Sharks in San Jose today.
Sure, this big crowd would love to see a nice comeback and everybody excited. And a little bit of a struggle. Offensively, Twins have struck out 10 times so far.
Outside, there's a start for a pitch walk. The rally began in the 7th yesterday. 5 runs, 7th inning. And hopefully more the same today. Leadoff man is on. 2 today, ball 1. He taking here now. 5 straight have missed.
Ball 1.
It's hard because last inning he was throwing strikes. You know, the up down a little bit different. You know, going back, sitting in the dugout while his team was hitting. Cool down a little bit. Got to fire it back up. He's been around long enough. I think you just shrink.
I would have asked for a whole game used get up. Even the socks is rich. I actually saw her account on X today, the girl that caught it. She's really cool about it. They're dragging her though in the comments, saying she's so, you know, that she should have got more. But I mean, that's who we are, I guess, nowadays. Everything's supposed to be about the money.
But it's also really hard to see right now, so maybe Vasquez just doesn't.
But I think like a whole game used get up, but
it's low, pops away from Naylor. No reason for Castro to even think about stealing. You're right down by 3.
He could have been a hard ass. I bet you they had like psychologists talking to her immediately. Because if she just holds on, it's just kind of the same thing as going to a car dealership. Never buy the first time you go, y'all. Go in, find the vehicle you want, negotiate the price, and leave. And leave after the first set of negotiations.
2-2, another slider.
But I'm sure they got all kinds of mind games going on there, y'all.
Cleveland team when they were in Seattle. Seattle, ton of punch outs last year. They altered their roster a lot, but they saw a lot of breaking stuff.
I've been able to get it synced up, CeeLo.
Less than 50-50 for the first time a couple of years ago.
Line to center field, that'll land a base hit. So Vasquez picks up his second hit of the season. The Twins making noise here. 2 on, nobody out. And Eddie Julian is going to bat for himself here.
CeeLo says I'd ask for some season tickets.
That was a great piece of hit going down and getting that thing. Breaking ball below the zone, but just a real simple approach. Short swing.
I mean, she's obviously sitting in the outfield, some of the cheapest seats at Dodger Stadium. So, yeah, I mean, give me season tickets to the seats I was sitting in. 2 of them.
Often, Rocco would summon in a right-handed hitter, in this case Kyle Farmer, but it's Julian batting here.
And she closed.
Ready warming up. You wonder if you like this matchup better than the potential right matchup that you would have. You send potentially Farmer up there, then they bring in the righty, so giving Julian a chance. He's got a homer in this game.
He's the tying run. Nobody out. Strike 2. That was the fastball right down the middle. And Julian last year against left-handed pitching only had 1 extra base hit in 48 plate appearances against lefties.
4-1, y'all.
1-2, 2-2. Now, I wonder, too, if part of Rocco's thought here, Morty, is that Herron has had trouble locating the zone this half inning. And Eddie Julian sees a ton of pitches, high on base percentage, low chase rate, if that factored in.
Yeah, and you hit Margot last inning, so your bench is getting a little bit shorter. So do you want to save it in case you get the bases loaded, potentially hit for Kirilloff, or save yourself a move or 2?
Strike 3 call. Julian strikes out looking for the 3rd time today. The front door slider beats him there, 1 out.
Well, I have a tough time with this at bat because he took a breaking ball in the zone and a fastball in the zone. So where you get in trouble as a hitter, either if you're looking for pitches and then you flip in the middle of the at bat, or maybe you're just not recognizing it, but either you're on the fastball or you're on the breaking ball, and when you go back and forth in the middle of an at bat, that's when you end up getting locked up like that sometimes. And I think that can be frustrating as anything for a hitter.
And Kirilloff just got hit. A sinker. And that stings Kirilloff. And that will load the bases. Last thing Herron wanted to do in a lefty-lefty matchup was to hit Kirilloff, but he got him. And now Byron Buxton is coming up.
Right in the ribs.
And I see Herron right there yelling inside of his mitt. So Kirilloff painfully takes his base. Herron's coming out, and we've got action. Gaddis coming in.
All right, y'all. They're bringing in a relief pitcher. I've seen and proved what I need to prove. And you all know I rarely cut streams off early. But this one, I'm going to do it, y'all. I'm going to end this one with just over 1,000 views. We figured out what we need to see, and I'll be back tomorrow for Dodgers baseball. Dodgers versus Cubs. It's an 11 a.m. game, 11 a.m. tomorrow. And then I'll be back, obviously, on Saturday for another 1 p.m. start. But thank you so much for joining us here today for this live stream. I appreciate all the mods. I appreciate the members and the subscribers. And we're going to get out of here right while I get this copyright strike for Right Round, Round, Round. Peace. I'm not on tonight, Rich. Dodgers don't play tonight. I'm going to watch some Ted Lasso. COO and I are going to chill. But it's 11 o'clock tomorrow, y'all. But I'm out. Peace.